Greetings and welcome to the Hotel California. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely place. There's plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany Twisted. She's got the Mercedes Benz. She's got a lot of pretty boys she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices, they're calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their shiny steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find that passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man. We are programmed to receive. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. An interesting song. It's what, as I opened my eyes this morning, it's the first thing that came into my head. And I thought, oh yes, it's time to make a presentation and explain this. So I go through these lyrics again. I'm going to put a link into the video by a group called Passenger. It has Spanish lyrics as well as English on that one. Very interesting. So, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Well, the dark desert highway is your spiritual path. The cool wind in my hair is referring to the spiritual thought currents. Warm smell of colitas. Well, colitas is a slang term in Spanish for the backside or also for marijuana seeds. Rising up through the air. Well, air is spirit. And of course the THC and the CBD are what unlocks the pineal gland. Up ahead in the distance I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy. My sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. So who is she? Well, she's your unconscious that's talking to you. When you ring a bell, it's or when something rings a bell, it's like a signal to you. She lit up a candle and showed me the way. Well, the candle is the light inside you. The way is your spiritual path that takes you to your higher self. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Well, the voices down the corridor are the doubts, the distractions that are trying to keep you in this physical realm so you don't find your higher self. There's plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Well, that's right. A year is not just limited to 360 or 365 days. You can see a year to describe anything. It doesn't have to be a year in the sense we think of it. It could be the great year of 25,920 years, for example. Her mind is Tiffany Twisted. She's got the Mercedes Benz. She's got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she call friends. Well, her mind is Tiffany Twisted. She's got the Mercedes Benz. Well, it's a reference to the material realm and the superficial friends. Tiffany Twisted, she's got the Mercedes Benz. Well, mercy dies when the mind is bent. The pretty, pretty boys she call friends are the superficial friends. They're pretty boys because you're just judging the exterior vessel. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. This is about the spiritual path, finding out and knowing who you are. Most of us are in various stages of not awakening, not even questioning anything, let alone going inside and finding the answers. So I called up the captain, please bring me more wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Well, that's funny because a wine is not a spirit. This is all allegorical. So who is the captain? Well, that is the Creator inside you. Please bring me more wine. The wine is your blood, your life force. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Why is it 1969? Well, the clue is in the shape of the fetus being a 6 and coming out head downwards, where you need to turn yourself to head upwards. So the head is at the top, like in the symbol of the number 9. And still those voices were calling from far away. Well, that's your intuition. That's the God inside you. That's your wisdom and Christ consciousness calling out to you, trying to get you to see things, just in the way that this song came into my head today. They wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Well, that's your dreams. That's the unconscious mind. Some of you will have dreams where you reconstruct the events of the day and the unconscious will run that same script again, but it will change the order of those events in the day, which is exactly what you can do with your conscious mind when you master your thoughts. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Well, there's the face of the earth in this reality that is shown to us. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Now, interestingly, in Spanish, alibis is excuses. It is saying, basically, if you're not going to do the inner work and remain a lazy ass, then you can make all sorts of excuses. If you can't spend 5 minutes out of 24 hours alone, just a simple 5 minutes to sit there and be still, because you can come up with all sorts of excuses. Just say, oh, I can't do this, I haven't got time, I'm too busy. But it's your soul at the end of the day that is what we're concerned about here. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. Well, the mirrors on the ceiling are the signs in the sky at night. They are reflecting this reality and showing you. The signs in the night sky are the mirrors on the ceiling. Pink champagne on ice. Well, what is champagne? It is a liquid with air bubbles in it. It is a representation of the spiritual. It's on ice because it is frozen in this moment we call now. And she said, we are all prisoners here of our own device. Well, Paul on Black Sheep Researcher has showed you the AEIU, which is a device. It can be a weapon. But our lives are of our own making, so we are prisoners here of our own device, because if we do not find that higher self and raise that Christ consciousness inside ourselves, we are prisoners here. In the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they still can't kill the beast. So, what is the master's chambers? Well, the Creator fell asleep in the dream in Golgotha, which is your skull. They gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. That's the conscious ego mind that is not communicating with the unconscious divine feminine. Because the unconscious will just keep giving you whatever you feel consciously. The conscious is the divine masculine, which has been twisted into men rule over women, for example. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Well, remember is exactly what you're doing. You're instead of being dismembered by a system, you're trying to put yourself back together. You are reforming yourself. Running for the door is the way out of this reality. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Now I'm going to suggest that one of those passages could be found in 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 6, where Paul says, "Do you not know that Christ is within you?" "Relax," said the night man. That is telling you exactly what to do. It is telling you to go within yourself, be still, observe your thoughts, observe your feelings. If you try and meditate, the ego will throw in all sorts of things and try and steer you off. This is why you have to master your own thoughts. It's the simplest thing to explain, and yet it can be the hardest thing to do. But have one piano lesson. Are you going to be able to play a Mozart piano concerto? It is practice, practice, practice with everything. The amount of effort you put in will determine on what you get out of anything. "Good night," said the night man. "We are programmed to receive." Well, is that not the pineal gland? Is that not your higher conscious trying to talk to you? But you can also be programmed by the illusory screens, the media. You can check out any time, but you can never leave until you find that Christ consciousness and you hand that power over to the power and the wisdom of the consciousness inside you, and you're letting your ego mind rule your vessel. Well, no, you're not going to be able to leave. It tells you in Scripture that the children are welcome. Well, most people are just unconscious, not even awake, not even aware. They're not questioning anything. This is why Christ welcomes the children, the innocents, those that have not had their minds filled with all this judgment and things. And it also warns in Scripture that once you have found it, if you then turn your back on it, you will be the very last to find it. But it is entirely up to you how many times you want to go round and round this circuit, this crazy, illusory world. It is actually hell on earth. But we can change it. We can turn it into heaven on earth. So that concludes Hotel California. But what is a hotel? Is it hot L? Hot hell? You choose what you want to make of this reality. It is all about awareness, awareness of oneself. It is all about awareness on your interaction with other people. What you say, what you do, your actions, whether you give the other person a negative feeling, whether you uplift them and give them a positive feeling. See, the clue also is in the song, living it up. It is about resurrection. It is about raising that Christ consciousness within you. There'll be a lot more on biblical passages and explaining those, and no doubt I will be doing interpretations of more song lyrics for you. I would love to play the song, but with copyright issues and things, it's probably best not to. But I will put the link in, as I've said, to the song by it's a cover version by Passenger. Personally, I prefer that one, and I like the landscape. I'm thinking I could really make something of that place. It looks beautiful to me. It might look like a deserted town to everybody else, but isolation, going within oneself, I can't think of a better place to do that without all these distractions. I don't know, you probably can hear in the background now the central heating is cut in. Every little noise always picks up on these videos, so I have to pick my moments as and when I can. But I hope that helps clarify and bring you new insights into things. And please do leave your comments and let me know if this feels right to you. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just giving you my interpretation on it. So I will say namaste, ilakesh, aloha, and ta-ta for now.